You can feel free to open up your chat at the bottom of your screen. Leave any comments, suggestions for future professional development. Um, there are three presenters in this call, so when any one of us is speaking, the other two are trolling the chat, looking for things to talk about in there as well. And anything we think would be beneficial for the whole group, we'll bring up to the presenters so that we can make sure that all of those ideas are getting shared out. If you're already using any of these tools, you can share best practices, or if we mention something, a feature, and
Yes, Diane's and Julie's are in Fox. That's where I pulled them from. But I don't see Mabel anywhere. Now,
Everybody just froze.
right.
and all this is being recorded, so if you know anyone who wanted to come but couldn't, the video of this will also be on the middle school distance learning website, probably tomorrow. We usually have about like a 12-hour turnover period. So let me see if anybody's waiting. No. There's a chat.
I think the first part of this for everyone, the Everfi stuff, is really, I wouldn't say Sam. I guess it's more computer teacher based,
It's not.
but it does have other applications too. So
I'll get into it in a little bit, but the Everfi is actually what all math teachers are required to use as part of the financial literacy mandate from the state.
That's right. I'm an idiot. I misspoke. Sorry.
All right. I can't, when I'm in person, I can't see it. Yep.
At what point in time?
I'm starting to trust these giant iPad usernames because only our desk director would name an iPad something like that.
That is correct. You can actually rename that person if we can find out who they are in case you need to do that. So
I think we'll be okay. They can
Wait, if we can figure out how to rename it, can someone let me know? It doesn't have to be now, but I had a student, and I thank God my co-teacher was on, but we were like, all right, we're going to take a chance and think that it's her. And we were like, you have to change your name. And she was like, I don't know how. And I was like, I don't know how to help her.
I think in the participants window, if you host, you can rename people. Can you see what I'm looking at right now?
Yeah, I can.
So,
but before she got in, I saw that like iPad, blah, blah, blah.
So you would be, this is where if like you are and your co-teacher are talking and a kid pops in and you didn't have a waiting room set up for whatever reason, you could throw that kid in the waiting room real fast. I love how every professional development do turns into a Zoom professional development.
But is there a way for them to rename it on their end or no?
If they like create, they would have to actually download the Zoom app and like create an account.
Okay.
That would be the best way to do it.
Okay, sounds good. I will encourage the student to do so.
Yeah. And then it makes it easier for them to log in and everything because their credentials are already verified because they have an account, or their parent could set up the account.
Okay.
Yeah, depending on the grade level.
Thank you, Jamie.
You're welcome. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started so we can get you guys out of here. So this is a live professional development, so just some norms to keep in mind as we go through. You should keep yourself muted, not because we don't want to hear from you. We definitely do want to hear from you. We just don't want to hear all the fun stuff that's happening in the background, like kids and animals and television and, you know, all the fun things that we get to experience in distance learning. If you want to speak, feel free to raise your hand. In the participants feature, you should see a little raised hand. You can also open up the chat and you can leave anything that you want to talk about in there as it pertains to this professional development or as it pertains to future professional development that you might be interested in receiving. We definitely want to hear from you. we work for you technically right now because we want to make you as comfortable as possible in the most uncomfortable situation that I know that I've ever lived through. So feel free to let us know what you need. So this is a table of contents just to jump through the slides. So I'll give you the slides presentation after the call ends today. And so if you just want to jump to the Edpuzzle stuff or to the Gimkit stuff, you could do that as well. For those of you who don't know us, I am Jamie Gross, teacher at Ford's Middle School. I have bunch of Google stuff. Check out my YouTube channel. I've been throwing up a lot of just basic tutorials about things I've been using or doing, just to, put as much information out there as possible. Sam Tulloch's also with us today. Sam, you want to talk about yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. I am a computer teacher and liaison over at Avenel Middle School. I am also a Google certified trainer. And I'm going to show you guys about Everfi in a little bit. I've been using it for 5 years, maybe even longer. All right, Joe.
And I'm Joe Vitale, ditto with all the Google stuff. And I'm going to show you guys Gimkit at the last part of this, which is I guess it's like Kahoot on steroids. If you haven't played it, it's really fun. Actually
Awesome.
playing one with you, just for the heck of it, to have a good time and to enjoy and see some of the features. So we'll see which one in our group here is Monica Geller and is the most competitive of us. So
I have to win.
I have to win. In my house, it's my wife. She's the Monica Geller here, so she likes to win at all the games.
That's so funny. All right, so I am going to turn this party over to Samantha and let her talk to you guys about Everfi. So Sam, you should be host right now.
Okay, I am going to share my screen with everyone.
Everybody's pieces. Hi, Christina.
Okay, so this is the Everfi platform. There are 3 different tabs up top. There's a home tab, which is your dashboard, which is where all of the courses that you have live. It's where you can see your classes, the students, and reports. The first thing I'm going to go over with you is the catalog. These are all of the available courses in Everfi. I don't know if it's my computer or if just the site is moving very slow today. Get rid of this. So they have a list of the popular ones, and then they have recently updated, and then they have all available. There are a lot of different ones that I use. I use the Ignition, the new one. It is a digital wellness and safety, which I have been making sure that my students are working on during this time of distance learning, because I want them to make sure that they are safe and know what to do online when they are out at home. They have financial literacy for high school. I know we have the STEM curriculum in the middle school. Not all of the schools use it, but there is a STEM one here. They have Hockey Scholar, which is math and science. It is sponsored by the NHL, and in our area, it's by the New Jersey Devils. So in there, the kids are able to go in and they do different things that are science and math related, but also relate to hockey. Then they have the Future Smart, which is the what we use with our 7th grade students. Venture is what we use with our 8th grade students. And Vault is what we use for the 6th grade students to meet the financial literacy requirements that were given to us by the state. They also have Social Emotional for all different levels. The Healthier Me, which is Wellness Fundamentals, I believe one of our health teachers in our school uses that. They have bullying prevention. There's a whole bunch of different ones in here. I know somebody was asking if it was for language arts. They do have a few different ones in here for language arts. They do have more high school ones as well. If you are interested in this, let me know and I will have the rep reach out to you. What's really great about this is that in there are different modules and you can look at the course. So this is the course that I have my students doing. And you can actually see it as the kids would see it, which is really great because not a lot of programs offer that. So while this loads, I'm going to go back here, and in your home, when you add a course to it, it's here, and then you can actually view the course, and it shows you all of the standards that
Welcome to Ignition. The world is smaller than you think. Going online can put the world at your fingertips.
So obviously it talks to the kids and everything. I don't know if you were all able to hear that.
Yes.
You can view the course here, and then you can view the resources. This is where you would get all of your assessments. They have all of the answer keys. They have it in different languages, which is what they just added over the summer. How they have the Children's Internet Protection Act requirements there. If they are under 13, they are not required to put their last name and their email address. And they have all different handouts that you can use in your class and different posters as well. The way that I grade my students on this is by going to reports, and you can pick the course that you have. So right now I have the Ignition New, and then I'm going to pick the course. So this is actually my current class, and I usually switch it so it's by last name, and it shows all of their grades. Now, they usually need a 70 or higher to pass on each individual module. So it says module 1 through 4, and then there's 2 different ones. And they need a 70 or higher to pass on all of those. I think they did modify it recently so that they can get their certificate in the end. And then there is, when you go into students, there is a way to upload multiple students at a time. If you go to your classes and then upload all of them, and you can actually check all of your students in there. Am I missing anything, Jamie? I know you use it.
There was just one thing I wanted to add when you were talking about the resources. So the way that the stuff in Everfi is set up is that you could run it 2 ways. You could just put them in the modules and let them work through it at their own pace. It saves their progress. Or like you saw in those resources, and there's resources for every different course. So it's not just the Ignition Digital Wellness. Any course that you would choose in there would have similar resources. So if you wanted to do some like real teaching where like you made videos or whatever based on the content, you wouldn't have to create it. Like those lessons are already created for you. You would just deliver that instruction however you saw fit, through a screencast or through a Zoom call if you thought that your kids would come. So however you decide, so you can do it either way. So it can be hands-on with you, or it can be very hands-off by you, and you just help them work through when they have difficulties and stuff. So that was the one thing. The kids can set up their own accounts. You can give them just the registration code that would then link them to their class. Or like Sam was saying, you can upload a spreadsheet of usernames and passwords. So I know what we do is we have a list of their usernames and passwords for Google, like every kid in the school. So I just copy and paste them from that master sheet, and then I can upload them into Everfi. And then when the kid goes there, he just puts in his Google credentials and the class code, and he's in. So
this is where in your classes where you could see your registration code, and this is what it would tell you to have the students log in. Mm-hmm. And then here is where you can actually click, and it would give you the option to upload multiple students at a time.
Yeah. So where you see add student, you would be able to
add a single or multiple.
Or upload a CSV file. So, but it's very, and they're constantly updating it, which is what's nice. It's completely free. Just put you in touch with Pooja because she's awesome. Like she'll put you in the right direction. She'll do all of literally if you wanted to use like Everfi, she would give you like a presentation that you could give to your kids that shows them how to access it. Like she's a really great resource. And it can even be like something extra. So if you're a math teacher and you're like, oh, cool, teaching math through hockey, you know, or teaching science through hockey, they do like the physics of like puck movement and like the composition of ice and how it has to be at a particular temperature, or like it's that, you know, it doesn't work, it'll melt or it'll be too hard, you know. Um, so it could be like a supplemental thing as well. Like, hey, you know, go in and do this lesson in Everfi as like a one-off. You know, you don't have to put them in the whole platform, so you can pick and choose. You might like a social emotional lesson from, you know, the character playbook or something, and you could just give them that one lesson to do as opposed to doing the whole platform. So it's however you choose to use it.
And somebody asked if it could be used in 3rd and 4th grade. Yes, they can. They have things for the younger students. I think they actually go down to kindergarten as well.
And if you did that, you would definitely want to make the accounts for the students and then
Yes.
just email their mom or dad, or if you're using Remind or however you're communicating with them, just say, here's your username and password, so that it'll, you know, troubleshoot it for them.
It is very user-friendly for the kids. There are very cute videos in there for some of them. I know that one of them, they have to be the mayor of the town. I think that's for the vault course. They have to be, or Future Smart, they have to be the mayor of the town, and they have to make business decisions. And for the vault course, it is what we teach our 6th graders. It's the difference between saving and investing and checking and accounts and savings accounts, and how to spend their money wisely. And they're given like $15, and it's like, well, how would you spend this money? There are so many different things within here that are awesome.
Yeah, even if you're like a language arts teacher, like you could go into the Ignition New, and they have all the stuff about rights and literacy. So like if you were doing what is it, like research, you could just do like the lesson 5 and lesson 6. That's just about like media literacy, like, and choosing good resources and knowing if a resource is something that they shouldn't use, you know, based on certain criteria. So, you know, that's something that you could say like, hey, you know, we're starting our research unit. Why don't you hop in here just to like refresh your memory about like all the things we should and shouldn't be doing when we're looking for content online. So it's definitely worth going in, and like we said, it's free, and just looking around, and like Sam said, like there's tons of stuff in there. So make sure you just take a second and look around.
Jamie, I switched host back to you, so this way you can go back to the presentation.
Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, great. So I just included a slide in the presentation of all the available courses, so that you can see them at one time, you know, and like we said, you know, it might say digital wellness and safety, but part of being like a digitally fit person is knowing, you know, how like media literacy and stuff. So, you know, STEM careers, like we always think of like science and like medicine, but one of the careers that they highlight in there is like music production. And we don't think of that, but it's all technology, you know. So it's interesting. You should check it out. Is there anything in the chat about Everfi? I didn't look before I switched over.
No, just one person asked if it could be used in 3rd and 4th grade.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna move on to Edpuzzle. And I'll be walking you through Edpuzzle. So Edpuzzle lets you take any video from YouTube and embed your own comprehension-based questions, or you can create voiceover. It also allows for you to cut the videos. So if you found like a really long video, but you teach elementary school, you could break the video up into smaller chunks. And break it up into different parts and give them one part at a time. And the beauty of this is that it also tracks their progress, and it will prevent them from like skipping and things like that. So I'm going to take you to the Edpuzzle site. There are a couple more slides that you can look at a later time. All right. So this is an Edpuzzle site. This is what it would look like when you log in. I create a video just to remind everybody that for Edpuzzle, you have to verify your email account. So in your account, I signed in with Google to start, and then I went back and I changed my email address. It allows you to edit this, and then over here it'll say to resend. You want to do that so that you can get the pro features, because the pro features are linked to your woolbridge.k12.nj.us email account. All right, and then it might take a little while, but if you make sure you're getting that email confirmation from Edpuzzle, and then it should say that you're a pro school. If it doesn't, let me know, okay?
Is that through a specific link that she sent, or we just have to do that on our account?
You just do that on your account.
Okay.
So yeah, so what she said in the last email, because Mr. Callahan had reached out to to a rep from Edpuzzle that we had a contact with, and she said that they were going to change it in their system so that whenever this woolbridge.k12.nj.us email address popped up in an account, that it would make it into a pro account. But with those kinds of things, there's always glitches. So if you wait like 24 hours or say, and then you see like you're still not a pro school, let us know. It's the big thing about being a pro school is that then you don't have to worry. You could just create as much content as you want, and you don't have to worry about any restrictions. So that's why if you have access to it, might as well take advantage, just like with Screencastify. Do I need to be making videos that are longer than 5 minutes? Probably not, but I would like the option. So when you come to Edpuzzle, you have a couple of features up here, all right? You have your content feature. So this is where your videos will be housed. All right, so you will be connected automatically to the people in your school. So you'll be able to see which subject areas you've picked that either you teach or you're interested in finding videos about. And if other teachers in your building were also looking for similar topics, you'll be able to see those videos that they've created. You can also create find curriculum-based stuff. So if you were looking for content that was specifically geared towards what you teach, you could look in here. So this is stuff that Edpuzzle has curated along with teachers to help organize things a little bit better, your school level, and then stuff specifically that you've created. So in your content, you can create folders to organize yourself, and then you'll have your videos here at the bottom. You would click add content. So you can create a video directly from the videos that Edpuzzle has in their platform. And so these are all already done for you. You can go in and edit them. So you see how under the video it has this little, I think this looks like the little point thing like on a map. But this indicates that there's comprehension content within that video. So this video contains 10 questions and notes. So I don't know how many of those are questions or how many of their notes, but I could go in and edit that if I wanted to use a video that somebody had created previously. All right. My other option
Jamie,
is to,
Brittany has her hand up.
yeah, what's up, Brittany?
Sorry, I just too much to type out. I feel like my account was pro school before we even got that email.
There are some schools in Woodbridge Township who have been paying for subscriptions. So I know John F. Kennedy High School had pro accounts before this. What school?
Damn, is it possible we did?
Yeah, I believe we had it for a few years actually.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, okay, thank you.
No problem. Yep. So if you already have it, awesome. So you can also upload videos. So if you've been creating your own content, the only thing about this is that, so if you're creating like screencasts make sure that you're downloading them onto your computer as an MP4. We're having a lot of issues with the web movies. So like when you save things in Google Drive, for example, like those file types, they just tend to load much slower. So I've been uploading everything into YouTube. It just makes uploading and downloading much faster, but it's a preference issue. So if you don't want to put your content on YouTube, then you just have to wait a little bit longer for your videos to upload and or download. And then there's this student project feature, which I have not played around with yet. So if you play around with that and you think it's cool, let me know. You can also create folders here. All right, so that's content here. So I could pick a video from Create a Video. I could also go directly to YouTube and pick videos directly from YouTube. The first step to this is going to the Chrome Web Store and downloading the Edpuzzle extension. Once you have downloaded the extension and activated it, I don't know if you can see this, you don't have to do anything else after that. It just lives in your extensions bar, and you just leave it alone. What this extension does is when you come to YouTube and you search for a video, and you pick a video, you saw these in my in my Edpuzzle already, it adds this button.
Am I the only one that can't hear Jamie, or?
No, my screen just froze. So I think
Same.
My
Okay.
frozen.
sorry, my screen froze. I don't know if it was me or somebody else. It's happened.
I think we all froze at the same
Is
time.
anybody else
for a little bit.
frozen?
No, I think we're all coming back now.
Okay.
You could just throw a thumbs up in the screen and tell us if you can hear everything. That would be awesome. Great. Some people aren't showing their video, but
Okay.
we're working on it.
Okay, but we're good now? Because I don't want to go forward if we're all frozen.
I believe so.
Okay, so I clicked on the Edpuzzle button in YouTube. It probably froze because I opened this window and it like absorbed all the internet. So this is where what your screen would look like to edit a video. All right, so you have your features here at the top. You can edit the title. This would be useful if you were going to cut your video up into chunks. So like this is a 14-minute video. Do I want my kids to see the whole thing at one time, or do I just want to watch the part about solids, just watch the part about liquids? So I could, change the title, part 1, part 2, part 3, depending on what I'm trying to accomplish. All right, so cutting the video, you're just dragging in from the sides and finding the chunk of the video that you want your kids to see. All right, and you can play the video from here so that you're always checking yourself. If you do it and you hate it, you can reset or undo. And you can add multiple cuts. The voiceover feature allows you to replace what the person in the video is saying with what you want your kids to hear. So sometimes, like, we do this in real life, right? You'll be showing your kids a video and the video will be like have moved on to something and you're like, but you see where he said here how that's what we were talking about yesterday? Like, you could add that voiceover. So if you're like a very animated, active teacher, this is your opportunity to add in all that extra commentary. Like, I'm always commentating over everything I'm showing my students to make sure that I'm reinforcing the main points that I want them to take away from that content. So this is your place to do that. So you would
Hey,
do those
Jamie.
recordings. Yeah.
Brittany just asked, can you show how to do multiple cuts? Like cut something out in the middle of the video that you don't want?
I don't know. Okay. So see how I added it, and now I can, the blue is what's gonna stay. So like if there was a chunk in the middle that I didn't want them to see, we should all be editing like inappropriate scenes out of videos now. But yeah, so I would just keep doing that. So every time I click add cut, it adds these bars here, and then I can play around with what I want them to hear. Cool, right? and it saves automatically. So, and if I hated everything I did, I could undo the last thing I did, or I can just reset it back to the beginning and start from scratch. All right. Are there any questions about VoiceOver? And you want to make sure that you're putting these things where you want them to be in the video. So for me, when I'm creating this, after I've cut like the particular part, then when I come here, it would be my cut version of the video. So then I could play the video, and then I could start a recording, see how he's quiet now, but it's recording what I'm saying. And then I would stop the recording, give it a second to load, and then my recording would be at 28 seconds is where my recording starts and this video stops. And if I didn't like what I had said, I could rewind it and start again, and I can delete them if I don't want them.
Yeah. Well, and
Questions about VoiceOver?
so
Great. Okay, so the last type of comprehension checks you can put in is questions. Multiple choice questions are always the best because you can pick the correct answer, and Edpuzzle will grade it for you, right? This is cool because you can also add in extra resources. If you're teaching elementary school, maybe you ask the kids, like, find a picture that relates to what the presenter just said, and you put pictures here as the answers, right? So it doesn't have to be like a test. You're just reinforcing the important stuff that you want the kids to take away from the video that you're showing them, because that's the biggest complaint, right? It could even be my daily video, like, this is the work that you're doing today, and a question pops up. What did Miss Gross just say? And they can't watch the rest of the video until they answer the question. You know, so be creative with how you're using this as well. You can do open-ended questions, and because the students can also use like the equation tools and stuff, you can give them, like, have your video pause on like a slide with a math problem on it, and in their box they sit here and they, all right, so 2 plus 2, that's an equal sign. You know, and
I'm
they
literally, I'm introducing the Junior Youth and Government Day project, which is a
Yeah.
district mandated project. I'm literally thinking of, and Brittany, we were joking about this before. I'm literally thinking of doing this with the directions and being like, now please restate what I just said, and having them like restate the directions so I know that they've read it and they understand what they're doing. I realize that's, you know, a little ridiculous, but
you know what?
it's also
That
ridiculous that they're not reading directions.
You're
So
right.
it's something I might do just so I don't have to repeat myself. So that's a nice feature. Record my screencast, you know, throw it into Edpuzzle, make them do like a 3 or 4 question quiz, quote unquote. So I know that they've read the directions.
Yeah. And then the last feature in questions is the notes. So if you just, again, if they said something and there wasn't a sufficient visual, right? Like if you were like, I think they need to see it in a different way, you know? And remember, anything that you create, like a graphic organizer, or if you create it in a Google slide or a Google drawing, you can download that as an image, and those images can live as notes in your video. All right, so you could say, like, remember last week when we had this graphic organizer, and it just pops up on the screen and the student acknowledges, yes, I looked at this note, and then the video continues playing, you know, so to reinforce the things that you've already been trying to get them to know, okay? So once you're finished with all of that, then you're gonna click the finish button, and then it's going to create your video. All right, so this video will have all of your questions, all of your notes, all of your voiceovers in it. You'll be able to play it so you can see, and you'll see what it looks like for the kids. So this is your opportunity to see it. If you hate it, you can edit it, you can delete it. All right, if you love it, you can assign it. All right. If you teach multiple classes and you want to keep your grade book organized, you can duplicate the video, or, you know, semester to semester, year to year, you can reuse the same things over and over again. So you could duplicate it so that in the grade book, it creates a separate, it separates them out. Otherwise, they'll all be in the same thing, I believe. I have to experiment with that now that I just said it. You know, when you say something and you're like, I don't think that's right. But you can duplicate it. So from like year to year or semester to semester, so not using the same one, or if you want to, you can differentiate. So maybe some of your students get a different set of questions than other students. And then you assign, you know, you can give some students that one and other students a different one. So when you click the assign button, I have my classrooms all set up in here. Then I can check off which classroom I want, what day I want to start, what day I want it to be due. If I want to turn on closed captioning, so if anybody out there's special education, you think your students would benefit, or you teach a student who's hard of hearing and they would benefit from that. I generally don't use the post to classroom feature because I do a lot of things in advance. So I would just come back later and just assign it when I wanted it. So you can always say later, and then the video just will live in your content. So it's there, but it's also here, right? And so you would see, if I had made any questions or anything, I would see here, like these ones have, which questions, I could name them different things. So I knew like differentiated versus non-differentiated, or block 1 versus block 2, or fall 2019 versus spring 2020, however you chose to organize that content. So that's pretty much it. The only other thing that I wanted to mention is some teachers were saying that they couldn't see their students. Make sure that you're clicking this import students button, and then your students will populate at the bottom of the screen. That's the only thing I think I forgot to mention. So yeah, I think that's it. Are there any questions? Whoa. I don't know if you guys are chat, but it's pretty lengthy.
Yeah, the grading feature is actually really good with it too. Even if you take a video that somebody else had created that has short answer questions, when everything is submitted, I clicked off for 2 seconds, James. Did you show a grade book what it looks like to grade an assignment?
I did not, because I don't have any current.
That's fine. I can actually show them at the end what it looks like. It's a really easy import, and it's super simple. Of course, it doesn't, it won't import right to Genesis, but you at least have the grades when they're done. It also shows you how much time they've spent on the video. So if they didn't go through the whole thing, you'll actually see that. But that non-fast forward part is actually really important. They can rewind, but they can't fast forward just to go through it. And Brittany, that's really good to be putting the summary question at the end, so you know that they watched the whole thing. I think that's a really great idea. But there's a lot of pre-made stuff there already, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel, or you can go crazy and make your own. So some really cool stuff. So James, I'm going to take the host back from you so I can go over Gimkit really quick. Let me just get myself back here. Okay. So I just want to show everybody Gimkit very quickly. I'm just going to pull the presentation up real quick and get myself all set. So Gimkit's really cool. So last year, there was a high school senior who was like, I like Kahoot, but it kind of bores me. So he decided to code and make his own game. So this game literally, it just started, and it's been all over social media. We were introduced to it as a social studies department by Chris Banos, and we immediately got a trial of the Gimkit Pro features to kind of play around with. But it's really cool. The kids love it. I think, just like Kahoot, which I think it might be overused at this point. I think if it's used too often, it'll lose its luster, but it definitely is something that's fun and interesting to do with your students now. So I want to show you a couple things about it, and also talk to you about what they've released in regards to the additional features. As you can probably hear, my wife's on a call too, so I'm just going to move myself down the hall. Sorry, everybody. Okay. All right. So now that I'm hanging out in my bedroom, Okay, here we go. So really quick, they've already released some stuff to support distance learning. You can use Gimkit live, or you can use it as an assignment. I'm going to show you how you can assign it as well. Okay. So this guy, Josh Feinzelberger, got like 2 people to invest in this particular program that he put together. There's literally 4 people that work for this company, but they're very good in responding and getting back to people, and they constantly are releasing new features and adding stuff. They also have a very good Twitter page. So if you're not on Twitter, or if you are, please consider following them, because they do let you know of like new features and new updates. They have these different game modes that they do. One that was really fun that they had last month was called Thanos mode, where if you're an Avengers fan, they did like you had to amass a certain amount of money before the snap, and some people would live and some people would die at the end of the game. So it was a cool little feature. Kids loved playing that one. I actually want to bring you through what it actually looks like. This should have been hyperlinked, but it's not. But I'll bring you to that later. This article here, they talk about all the different things that are released in Gimkit for remote learning. And we're going to make sure that that's posted on the district site for you to refer back to later. But it was a great article that I found about all the different things that they're doing. So let me show you what it actually looks like. So I'm logged into my account, okay? And think of it, they call them kits, right? A kit is a game. So each kit is going to go over a different topic. So you can either make your own, okay? Now, if you don't have the pro features, which I think they have on that COVID-19 site, they've mentioned how they're allowing people to have thing called a locker, so you can have additional kits in your account. A kit is actually a game, and it has a list of questions in it. You can even go to right here where it says search for kits, and let's say I was doing my son, I don't know if there's going to be one here, but they're reading the book Number the Stars. So if I type that in, they're going to bring up a game that's got a bunch of questions about the book. So I can take this one and I can add it to my kits, and then I can edit it and change it, or I can just play it right from there. It's just like with Kahoot. Okay, Kahoot, you can search for games and you can play them just as is, or you can add them and you can edit them. There's a couple cool features here. This one here called Kit Collab is really cool, because what you can do is your classes can make the questions in real time. And they're multiple choice questions that they would create. So they'll give the correct answer and then 3 incorrect answers. And then you approve the questions as they come in. So you'd be doing, like, we could actually do that in real time, where, like, if we were pretending that we were in a class and I was the instructor, I could give you this game to log into, and the game doesn't start until everybody puts in a question. So if you're like, okay, we're going to review the vocabulary from chapter 4, so start putting in questions about it, stuff like that. This block 1, block 3 trivia challenge that I have here, I actually, you can import questions from a spreadsheet, so you can do the exact same thing. So what I did was, in Google Classroom, is I posted a spreadsheet, which had, and the spreadsheet is actually here. You download it from Gimkit. You post it in Google Classroom, and then you import it back to Gimkit, and it adds all your students' questions on there. So I said to them on a Friday, I said, look, you guys make the questions. You got all week. Throw as many in there as you want. I don't care what the questions are about. It could be about popular culture, movies, YouTubers, I don't care. Let's just play trivia and have some fun. We did it as like a fun Friday. We logged in, I gave them the game, and we all played in real time. So you also can assign games to your classes via Google Classroom. If you hit assign, it tells you to choose a due date. It's very similar to the other platforms that you might use in importing to Google Classroom. It'll create the assignment. You can put a link to it. Kids will log in and they'll play the game themselves, okay? Which has a little bit of a different feel to it than when you're playing it in real time. So what I actually want to do is I want to play one with you guys, okay? We're going to play one live. So if you have you can either open up a new window on your device, or you can take out your phone. and go to any web browser, and it's going to tell you exactly what to do, and I'm going to show you how I enable a game and get it started. Okay? So we're going to do this one that's got civics questions. It's got questions from the civics exam. Okay? And again, not grading you on your civics knowledge. Okay? No one's going to lose citizenship if you do poorly. But what the game, the reason why the reason why the kids like this so much, and it's so much fun, is because as you get questions correct, you earn money. And then you take the money and you go into a store and you buy power-ups to make yourself earn more money, so you can double the amount of points, or you can multiply the amount of points as you get multiple questions correct in a row. You can also buy things to attack your classmates. You can ice them, stop them answering questions for 20 seconds. You can subtract 20% of their balance for any question they get right over 60 seconds. They absolutely love attacking each other. That's the cool part about this. You as the teacher also have the ability to do certain things. Like, for example, you could bring up each individual student. If you have a struggling student, you can give them a little bit of cash. You can also ice the kids that do really well. You can go after them and attack them too. So you have some fun things you can do as the person who's running the class as well. So I'm going to click play live. Okay. This is where we get all these different things here, these different modes, right? We're just going to do classic mode. Okay. We're not going to play this for 20 minutes. We're going to play it for 5. You have different options. You can do a time one. You can do a race, which is whoever is the first one to earn $1 million, or you can lower that depending on how much time you have. 75,000 is normally like 10, 15 minutes, depending on your class. You kind of have to play around with it. You also can give people starting cash. For this game, I'm going to give everybody $100. So you can get started. You also, money gets taken away when you get things wrong. You can have it where there's a handicap where no matter how many questions they get incorrect, they won't go below minus $10, so they can keep playing the game. There's an answer check where they can check the answers that they got incorrect. There's music. There's this clapping feature at the end when the game is over. You can tap your screen and clap. It's really like the kids love it at the end. I normally do let's see if we can get to 5,000 claps in 30 seconds, and they're all tapping on their screens just for the fun of it. You can also only have clean power-ups. But I don't like doing that. I like them. They're middle school kids. I like them to attack each other. If you got elementary school, maybe you want everybody's got to be nice. I understand, but the middle school kids love attacking one another. So I want to play this with you guys. I want to show you what it looks like. We're gonna play classic mode. We are gonna play for, let's call it 7 minutes, and I'm gonna hit continue. Okay. Now I will say this as a caveat. I've had limited success in playing this in a live environment. It's worked 60% of the time. I've tried it a couple times. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I really think it's my internet connection. But you can everybody, I'll give you 60 seconds, 90 seconds to have everybody join. You're going to go to gimkit.com/play, and you're going to type in the code 56457. Just like with Kahoot, if somebody puts Fart Monster up there as their name and you didn't want them to be in there, you can click on it. It kicks them out of the game. Okay. Mr. Dillon is in. I'm ready. I'm expecting big things from Mr. Dillon. Big things. And again, you can use a second device, or you can open up a new window on your iPad. I know that there's some things in the chat. I haven't addressed those.
Is this stuff only in live mode?
What stuff do you mean?
Like the power-ups and everything?
I think so. Yeah, I've only heard and read articles about it being
when they do it in homework mode, I think they only earn money. So you can use that for them to earn lots of money, and then do a bonus live session where they get to go at each other with all this extra money that they've gotten.
All right. Well, we got 8 players in here, so I'm gonna I'm going to click start. So if you could just give me 60 seconds of your time before you start answering your first question. So there's music that plays. I'm going to mute that for a second. But you see when I click on somebody's name, it gives me the option of adding someone in or subtracting some money or icing them. So you have some extra things here. I like to leave the leaderboard up so people can see it, and then you can see where you stand. Don't forget, one of the keys to this, just to give you an idea, you have to buy power-ups if you want to be the winner. Okay, time is ticking. Let's see how we do. You can also buy power-ups to do things like change the music. They do like different themes. Like there was around Christmas time, there was one where it played like jingle bell songs and stuff like that. Jennifer out to an early lead.
This is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You blurred me, you jerk. Whoever's trying to talk is breaking up. Ah. Oh, see you now. So you can see how this is like way more fun than Kahoot.
Am I getting duplicate questions because I was asking them wrong, or are they just the same questions?
So the music, as you can hear, gets a little repetitive after a while.
Yeah. I don't know. Did you hear that question
What's
about the so the questions? Did they repeat the ones that you got wrong?
No, they just keep repeating the questions. They just keep bringing them up.
So for 7 minutes, your kids just answer whatever, like, so however much time you give them, they just
Yeah,
keep
the more
answering
questions you have, the better the game actually is, because you get all sorts of different questions. You also get the option of turning on or off, letting students review their incorrect answers. So it'll tell them the correct one, and then they'll see that question again. That's the cool part about it, at least for me, when you're reviewing.
This is cool.
It's very fun. It really is.
I'm into it now, even though I keep getting things wrong.
And I like that you don't have to like wait for kids to answer, like in some things, like where you're sitting there like waiting, like, did you click on it? Like the kids just are doing it at their own pace. So if you had a kid who wasn't doing it, then they're not doing it, you know? Why show up then? It doesn't ruin the fun for everybody else waiting around for one kid, you know?
Okay, you got 50 seconds.
He got kicked. Somebody got kicked out.
Is it Samantha or is it going to be Matt?
Matt got kicked out, he said.
Come on, Mr. Dillon. I'm expecting big things.
I only have $100.
Well, that's because you probably bought power-ups.
Yeah. I'm just going to use all my money to ice you guys for the rest of this time.
Uh-oh, going after Samantha again.
Okay. Now we get to clap.
And now, of course, you can hit the claps, which is where the kids all go crazy and they want to do the clappinator and buy like things. See, you can see the number goes up. Everybody's clapping for each other.
I have the clappinator, so it goes up by 10 every time.
I mean, it's a big deal. So, okay, so if you could stop your clapping, you can view the report, okay, at the end, which tells you like the percentage of how students did. Don't worry, I'm not looking at everybody's questions. But it also can tell you, you also can go and look at what questions, if you do a question breakdown, how students did on specific questions. So if they got specific question wrong, that might be something that you want to go over. Like, okay, well, it seems like a lot of us got this question wrong about, here's ones everybody got right. Who's not a president? Everybody got that one correct. But if you look down the list here, these are the ones. What was the Daughters of Liberty version of the Boston Tea Party? It was actually called the Coffee Party, which a lot of people maybe didn't know. And we said, what can you remember about the Coffee Party? You can have a discussion about it. So it's really a lot of fun. And there's the cool thing is about it, once again, is that each time you play it with the same set of questions, and you don't have to log back in now, but I'm just like, we could go to team mode where it can team you up. There was also a special mode here called, was it Zombies or something like that, where they do like these special modes. They do boss mode. Yeah, Humans versus Zombies is one where you split everybody up into 2 teams. They have one that's called boss mode, which is awesome, where like one student gets to be the boss and everybody else is grouped up against that person trying to like defeat them. It's really, really fun. It's got a lot of cool features to it. It's as simple as going and finding one and searching them out, or making your own. Okay, so there's some really cool features here that you can take a look at. So we're going to put stuff on the website for you guys about Gimkit. It's not there now, but it will be soon. We will also have this recording up. Does anybody have any other questions about Gimkit?
Can you hear me, or am I still a little blurry?
Can I what? I'm sorry?
I'll put it in the chat.
I heard you. Something about you being blurry? Yeah, you're a little blurry. You're a little pixelated.
I was just going to say Gimkit reinforces repetition, which is really great because the kids don't understand that they're constantly learning the same facts over and over again, but they are, which is really good for them to memorize things.
The one more thing, the last thing I want to show you real quick is I just want to show you the spreadsheet part again. So if I go into my civics class, and a few weeks ago, am I sharing my screen? Can everybody see my Google Classroom? I'm just trying to scroll down and find the actual.
You're not sharing your screen anymore, Joe.
I'm not. Okay, let's try that one more time. Sorry, everybody. I'm just trying to find where it is. It's probably down in my stream somewhere. You know what? I tried it on the half day. Yeah, I just wanted to be able to show you guys the spreadsheet and what it looks like is when I posted. Yeah, it's not there. Sorry. So anyway, there is a way for you to have kids make their own questions. It really does have some cool features, and it's fun. So, you know, it's one of those games that you can give a shot. You know, and there's a lot of pre-made stuff there already. There's a lot of kits that are already made. Accounts are free. You can also reach out to them via their email and see if you can get additional access to the pro features, which allows you to have more kits and edit ones that are already made. Okay. So if you don't have anybody have any questions about that at all?
I have a question, Joe.
I know my stream is a mess. Don't judge me.
Well, I just felt it was appropriate to call you out since you love calling everyone else out. Anyway, okay, so since it's the same questions over and over again, maybe you were trying to show us that on the spreadsheet. Can I see when a student gets a question right and then will later then get that exact same question wrong?
I don't know if it's that involved. I think you can do a question breakdown, but I'm not 100% sure in the reports.
Okay.
But as we were introduced to this from from Chris Banos, there is a lot of data that's at your fingertips. Regarding this this program, but it's definitely fun. You know, and one that hopefully you'll give a try. So hopefully you got a little bit of a you know, an idea from this that we just went over about how you could use any of these three tools in your classes in the coming weeks. Okay. I don't know the answer to that question about the Edpuzzle.
Just make sure your email is typed correctly, because if you're anything like me, you may have put a comma instead of a period in between k12.nj.us, and that's why you didn't get your email.
I have done that before. So absolutely. There I go.
Just double check and verify your email.
There you go, Brittany. Okay, well, if there's no other questions, you guys are welcome to log off. We appreciate you guys taking the time to come and join us today. And if you have any further issues about getting your account verified, please let us know so we can help you with that. Okay?
Bye, everyone.
Awesome. Bye, everyone. Sam, do we have anything else to go over?
Nope, that's it.